Jalalav Kanika Pita Sakridev Murari Samarcha Nakriyeta Yamena Charcha Maline Mochanam Pumsam Jalasnana Dine Dine Sakrit Geetamrita Snana Sansara Malanashanam Sarva Upanishado Gavo Dogda Gopalanandana Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dogdam Geetamritam Pibat एकम शास्त्रम देवकी पुत्र गीतम एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मंत्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि एको कर्माणि एकम तस्य देवस्य सेवा. This is the Gita Mahatmya prayers by Shankaracharya, who mentions that the Gita is the essence of all scriptures. And if we have Bhagavad Gita, we don't need to wander around, read so many books about spirituality. This is like one-stop shop. Manual for life, essence of all holy scriptures, the Bhagavad Gita, as it is, by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. So we are reading chapter 7 of the Bhagavad Gita, which is entitled Knowledge of the Absolute. We have covered quite a few verses from this chapter. This chapter has 30 verses, and the acronym is HEAD. To remember the essence of the chapter, the first section talks about hearing. H is for hearing, to hear about Krishna Katha. How? Mai asakta manah partha. Mai asakta manah partha. Oh Partha, hear with one rapt attention. Touch Shrinu, hear with attachment. Mai asakta manah partha yogam yunjan madashre asanshayam samagram mam yatha gyasasi touch Shrinu. To know the spiritual science, one must hear from Krishna and his devotees with rapt attention. So the glorification about the hearing process. Then Krishna talks about the next few verses talk about what was the other E for? I'm missing. I think I shared. I'm not recalling. The A is for acceptance or rejection. Oh yes. E is for, I think, the energy of the Lord. Yes, the different energies. Correct. Krishna talks about the material energy, Bhumi, Rapo, Nalo, Vayu, and the spiritual energy, and the jivas. And then he talks about some people accept Krishna, the 4 types of people who accept, and the 4 types of people who reject. 7.14, 7.15, 16, 17, all those verses. And the last section from text 20 talks about the D of demi-gods versus Supreme Lord. So we are now at text number 23, I believe. Okay. 23. That's the verse we're going to read today, and maybe 1 or 2 more. Antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavati alpamedasam devan deva yajo yanti madbhakta yanti mam api. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods, and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. Very nice verse. Purport. Some commentators of Gita say, okay, sorry. Some commentators of the Bhagavad Gita say,
Prabhuji, I'm sorry to disturb you in between. What shlok number are we doing?
23.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
The 7th chapter, 23.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Can you see my screen also?
Yes, Prabhuji, I am. I'm just opening my Bhagavad Gita, so I just wanted to know
Perfect.
which.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay, I'll read the purport. Some commentators on the Bhagavad Gita say that one who worships the demigod can reach the Supreme Lord. But here it is clearly stated that the worshippers of the demigods go to the different planetary systems where various demigods are situated, just as a worshipper of the sun achieves the sun, or a worshipper of the demigod of the moon achieves the moon. Similarly, if anyone wants to worship a demigod like Indra, he can attain that particular god's planet. It is not that everyone, regardless of whatever demigod is worshipped, will reach the supreme personality of Godhead. That is denied here. That is denied here. For it is clearly stated that the worshippers of the demigods go to the different planets in the material world, but the devotee of the Supreme Lord goes directly to the supreme planet of the personality of Godhead. Here, the point may be raised that if the demigods are different parts of the body of the Supreme Lord, then the same end should be achieved by worshipping them. However, worshippers of the demigods are less intelligent because they don't know to what part of the body food must be supplied. Some of them are so foolish that they claim that there are many parts and many ways to supply food. This isn't very genuine. Can anyone supply food to the body through the ears or eyes? They don't know that these demigods are different parts of the universal body of the Supreme Lord, and in their ignorance, they believe that each and every demigod is a separate god and a competitor of the Supreme Lord. Not only are the demigods parts of the Supreme Lord, but ordinary living entities all are also. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that the Brahmanas are the head of the Supreme Lord, the Kshatriyas are his arms, the Vaishyas are his waist, and the Shudras are his legs, and all serve different functions. Regardless of the situation, if one knows that both the demigods and he himself are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, his knowledge is perfect. But if he does not understand this, he achieves different planets where the demigods reside. This is not the same destination the devotee reaches. The results achieved by the demigods' benedictions are perishable because within this material world, the planets, the demigods, and their worshippers are all perishable. Therefore, it is clearly stated in this verse that all the results achieved by worshipping demigods are perishable. And therefore, such worship is performed by less intelligent living entity. Because the pure devotee engaged in Krishna consciousness in devotional service of the Supreme Lord achieves eternal blissful existence that is full of knowledge. His achievements and those of the common worshippers of the demigods are different. The Supreme Lord is unlimited. His favor is unlimited. His mercy is unlimited. Therefore, the mercy of the Supreme Lord upon his devotees is unlimited. Wow. There's a lot in this verse, right? iPhone. Who's iPhone? Will anyone has joined the iPhone? Who's the devotee? Hare Krishna, Devki Mataji, Priti Mataji, and iPhone Prabhuji Mataji, whoever is using this. Thank you all for joining. Very, very grateful for your association. Let's digest, this. There's a lot in here, is it not? There is certainly a lot. So we are talking about the demigods and Krishna. So I was thinking maybe we can make a table where we can understand more clearly about the parallels or sorry, the differences in worshiping the Supreme Lord, worshiping um the demigods, right? And maybe you cannot see my screen. Maybe now you can join just to see the screen if that helps from the phone or mm. So I'm going to share my screen and all of you will help to kind of build this up, right? Is that okay? So on one hand we have Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, right? In one we have different demigods, right? So that's the comparison we are doing. And here we will write like different sections, mercy or fruits given, right? Or what's the destination, right? Who worships, etc., etc. So when we talk about if someone worships Krishna and someone worships demigods, do they get the same destination? That's the point which Prabhupada is emphasizing here. What do you all suggest? What's the destination one will get if they're worshipping Krishna versus worshipping Indra, Chandra, etc.? Priti Mataji, what do you think?
Uh, Prabhuji, worshipping Krishna will take us to Goluka, and maybe worshipping other demigods might take us to heaven or hell, like whatever the people say. I'm not very sure, but maybe it will take them to heaven or some better place.
Yes, yes, that's absolutely correct. So Goloka or spiritual world,
And
right?
also, what we have been learning so far and what I have understood is uh, like with Krishna conscious bhakti, we like um, what do you say, the cycle of taking rebirth and coming back to this world will stop, and maybe worshipping demigods may not have like शायद उससे वो ना हो और हम फिर से जन्म लें और फिर से पृथ्वी पर आए, एंड बाय वर्शिपिंग कृष्णा जो जन्म और मृत्यु की साइकिल है वो एंड होगी और विल रीच गोलुका, like
Yes.
mokta, maybe, like I don't know the exact words, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, I absolutely hear exactly what you're saying.
Yeah,
And very,
like
very, very nice
mukti
point
from
you
the
showed.
material world, mukti from the material world, basically.
Yes. So devotional service to the Supreme Lord and to the demigods cannot be on the same platform because worship of demigod is material and devotional service to the Supreme Lord is completely spiritual. So that's another point, right? So worship is completely spiritual. And if someone is worshiping demigods, it's material, as we just read. Is it not? Hmm. So what about oh, actually, I should have wrote this in the destination call, like row, right? Because that's the destination, or gantavya, right? So we covered the destination, correct? So one destination will be material, and cycle of birth, death. Let's write. Um, no more repeated birth and death, right? But if someone is worshipping demigods, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, what happens?
The fruits of
क्षीण पुण्य मृत्यु लोक विशंति. जब पुण्य क्षीण हो जाता है, because see how one will go to the demigods by worshipping demigods. And what does it mean to do pious activities, some yagya, indra, chandra, etc.? They go to, it's like a getting like someone is like buttering or doing a lot of seva for, let's say, um you know even in this world they are multi-millionaire. Someone, let's say, they're the CEO of the company, right? If someone is doing great service to the CEO of the company, will the CEO be happy? Yes, right? Naturally they'll be happy. Will he give him something? Most likely, right? Maybe they'll give him, what could they give him? Oh, you are a great employee. I mean, it doesn't happen, but let's say the best case scenario, you have done great service, this new car for you, right? Or your salary increase, or new house for you. So in short, their gifts will be also material, right? In the best case, even if they say, I give you all my money, just a hypothetical case, still it's very material, right? So the gifts, or now let's come to the mercy, you can say the mercy or the gifts, the fruits, results given are limited, material, and what happens? Antavattu phalam tesham, as we read in this chapter. Antavattu phalam tesham. They are perishable. They are perishable. Antavat, अंत हो जाता है उसका. जो भी फल देते, अंतवत्तु फलम तेषाम तद भवति अल्पमेधसाम. So antavad means they are, in short, temporary. That's one of the quality of the fruits or the mercy given, right? Does everyone agree?
Yes.
So the fruits which they are giving is temporary. Better house, better car, better, looks, better, all these are temporary. But what Krishna gives is unlimited, as we just read, unlimited mercy, spiritual, eternal, the totally opposite qualities. What Krishna is giving is eternal love, eternal residence in Goloka Vrindavan, eternal benefit, not temporary, short term, or you can say either like short term, same as limited or temporary. If we get a short term vacation, it's nice for a few days, but then what? Kshina Punya Mrityu Lok Vishanti. Then after going back to the heavenly planets, what will one do? Maybe enjoy Somaras, maybe see the Apsara dance and whatnot. Then what will happen? Back to grind, right? So only less intelligent person would want that, right? Less intelligent. What's the Sanskrit word? Alpamedhasa. Alpa means less. Alpahara, right? Alpa means less. Medha, buddhi, sumedha, good intelligence, alpamedha, less intelligence. The previous also we use this words, that those whose intelligence have been stolen, they worship demigods. Again, we are not disrespecting, we are just reading Bhagavad Gita. Krishna himself is saying. So we are just, the boss is saying that this is what the less intelligence or whose intelligence have been stolen. But actually, most intelligent worship Krishna because they know that the root is Krishna. They know that Krishna is the source and the root. In this particular text, an analogy is given. What's the analogy given? If we have to feed our body, do we feed the hand? Do we feed the ears, head? Right? The food goes in the stomach, right? And all the body parts are nourished. So Krishna is the roots, or like watering the roots. There's another analogy, watering the roots versus watering every leaf, twig, flower, right? We don't do that. And another analogy, this analogy is in the Bhagavatam. Prabhupada uses this multiple times. The analogy one is like feeding the belly, right? Putting the food in belly via mouth, right? There's a system which God has made. Put the food in the mouth, it will go in the belly, and it will supply the energy. But here we are like feeding the hand, ears, legs separately, individually. No, that's not the right way. What else? Any other thoughts in this regard? Will demigods be happy if we worship Krishna?
Yes.
Yes. Why? Why do you think so, Ayush?
Because like if you worship Krishna, you directly worship them technically.
Worship them.
So if you worship Krishna, if you worship a demigod, you're indirectly worshiping Krishna. But if you worship Krishna, you're directly worshiping Krishna.
Okay. Yeah, the demigods are great devotees. Like if you worship Lord Ram, will Hanumanji be happy? Of course. But if we say, Lord Ram, stay on the side. I'll just focus on Hanuman, right? People go to Hanuman and say, "Oh, I want to get married." Like Hanuman is, Bal Brahmachari, asking him, like it's very silly. Like so, in short, the demigods will be happy. Lord Brahma, Shiva, Indra, they all know their positions, right? There are so many countless pastimes in this regard that how the demigods are happy and they encourage. They are acharya, like Brahmaji is our Sampradaya Acharya. What is it telling? Like, Govindam Adi Purusham, Tamaham Bhajami, right? Indra, we read the prayers of Indra when he came along with the Surbi in the Bhagavatam, Canto 10. There are countless instances. So, in short, Krishna is encouraging this, the demigods are encouraging this, but somehow, due to less intelligence, People end up worshipping demigods for short-term results, and then they concoct that, oh, ultimately it's all same. Is it same? It's also discussed in this verse. Is it same? It's not same. It's not the same. It's like saying, take any road, you will end up going to New York. Take any road, right? You'll reach New York anyways. Is that correct?
No.
It's such a silly statement. Take any flight, you'll go to Chicago anyways, right? Hmm. No, we have to sit in the right plane. If we want to go to Chicago, we have to take the right flight, correct? Every flight is going at a different destination. If someone is worshipping, is sitting on the flight of Indra worship, they're going to Indraloka. If someone yanti deva vrita devan pitrin yanti pitrivrita bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti madhyaji nopi mam. Krishna says that, right? If someone worshiping Indra, go to Indralok. Someone Chandra, Chandralok. Sun planet, Sunlok. Pitris, Pitrilok, right? But yanti madhyaji nopi mam. If someone worships me, they come to my planet. And that's what is recommended in this verse also. Same verse, similar, like very, very similar. So all roads don't lead to Rome, right? All roads lead to Rome is a famous, no. If you don't know where to go, then any road will take you there. There's unless one Maharaj said, I forgot his name. He said, yes, all road will take you there, but when you don't know where to go. All road will take you when you don't know where to go, right? Because you don't have a fixed destination. But devotee means fixed destination. Vyavasayatmika buddhir. Oh, fixed, one-pointed. Tesham jnani nityukta eka bhaktir vishishyate. Eka bhaktir. Then we have to be fixed, resolute. Devotees are resolute in the path. So that's what Krishna is saying. And that happens when we take the boat of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then that will take us to the right destination. That is Goloka, back home, Vaikuntha, spiritual world, our real eternal home, which is unlimited mercy, unlimited, as Prabhupada is mentioning, use the word unlimited few times here. Unlimited mercies, favor is unlimited, Supreme Lord is unlimited. The mercy of the Supreme Lord upon his devotees is also unlimited. One more point which is important here, nature of personality. So basically, the demigods themselves are jivas, right? Jivas, special jivas you can say, like who is Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, they may be very rich people, right? They may have millions or billions of dollars, but ultimately they are jivas, correct? You can say they are demigods of this world, right? They have a lot of power, name, fame, position, right? They may have hundreds of servants, thousands of employees working for them. So they are kind of little demigods of this tiny world, right? Correct? No?
How they can be demigod? Because
Not like literally, but like they have name, fame, power, right? So they are in the same, they can help someone materially by giving a house, giving a car. That's what people go to demigods for. And they have done pious karma to become that. Of course, they have done some pious karma to get that material wealth, name, fame, right? So that's not like literally, it's not like Indra Deva. They compared to demigods like Indra, their wealth is like not even 0.001%. Even the richest person of this world is like the poorest of the demigods in that world. But still, in our understanding, in this world also we see a lot of like differentiation. Someone is having billions of dollars, someone is like doesn't have like a food for the night, right? Someone is living in a multi-million billion dollar mansion, someone is sleeping on the road. So there is differentiation in this world too. So the point here is that ultimately they are jivas, right? They may have some more um, pious credits. That's why they're there. But ultimately, one can also become Indra, one can become Chandra, one can become Surya. Like one can become a billionaire. Yes, they can become. One has to do that hard work and the pious karma also required. But again, the goal is not that. So, nature of the personality of the Supreme Lord is Sat, Chit, Ananda. And he, of course, Jivas are also Satchit Ananda, but he's unlimited. The Supreme Lord is unlimited, or also called Vibhu. Completely spiritual, who can't be covered by material energy, as we discussed that earlier. Material energy works under the Supreme Lord's direction, not the opposite. But Jivas are limited. They're called Anu, and therefore they are often they can be covered by material energy. Many examples we see, right? We're reading in Indra's story, right?
Yeah.
With Rasur, how he killed his own guru, how he disrespected his own guru. So many examples. That's not, I mean, if so many cases we see, Govardhan Leela is a great example, right? So no more repeated birth and death, and it's basically Sheena, Punya, there's another verse, Mrityu, Loka, Vishanti, continue in cycle of birth and death. Is this table helping to like kind of oops. So I thought this, because this will continue, this whole discussion will continue. So 23, right? 23 we are reading. So we covered, let's see if we covered most of the points, right? So some people say, it's you get the same destination. So we cover the destination part. All roads will not lead to Rome, right? Then someone can say, well, ultimately they are parts. Yes, they are parts. But if someone is putting the food in the chest, oh, chest needs energy. Let me feed. They'll call, are you fool? You have to put the food in the mouth, it'll go in the belly, and chest will also be nourished. Therefore, if someone is saying, no, there are parts, but the system is to water the root, the parts will be nourished. The demigods will be happy, right? Correct. The demigods will be happy, most certainly, if we worship Krishna. That's how the system is made. So we are not disrespecting or offending them. Rather, we are giving them the right respect, which they'll be most happy. Can anyone supply food to the body? So we covered that part also. Not only the demigods are parts, but they're ordinary living entities also. See? And that's the point which we were discussing here. Basically, they are jivas or limited. In short, they are ordinary living entities, right? But Krishna is not ordinary living entity. He is the cause, the creator, the Satchidananda Vigraha. complete, unlimited. I'll just reduce the size a little bit so we can fit a few more things here. Just to add upon further to this, there are a few more points which we can potentially write. Another point which is coming to my mind, it's the row. It's the bow. Okay. So in the right few more points. So we discussed who worship. The worship itself is spiritual and material, and the mood of worship, mood or process, more important, process of worship. Krishna is bhavagrahi, correct? So basically he sees, Lord Krishna sees intention of devotee. What's in the heart? So he's like the father. The analogy is like the father, right? He's like the supreme father who knows everything. So let's say the child says to the father, "Oh, papi, come here," right? The 2-year-old or 3-year-old, I don't know when the child starts to speak. "Oh, papi, papi, papi." The father comes from the office and the little child is saying, "Papi, papi, papi, oh, papi, papi." So papi means sinful, right? Or someone may say, "Oh, he's calling puppy," right? Puppy means doggy, right? So will the father think, "Oh, he's calling me a dog," or will the father think he's calling me a sinful, wretched person? Will the father think like that?
No.
No. What will he think?
He'll
What
see
will
the
he
love
think?
of the child.
Yeah, he'll see the love. Oh, my little child is calling me. Wow. And he'll embrace the child, he'll pick the child, and he'll just play with the child and whatnot, right? He'll not see the externals, correct? That's a big difference. So Krishna sees the internal or the intent. The demigod worship is like business. It's like a transaction. The process of worship, is a transaction, right? Or the intent doesn't matter. You have to pay the price. Like you go to the store, right? You go to the store. Hey, I am very hungry and I don't really have money, and I need to buy food. Can you give me food worth $50 so that I can quench my hunger? What do you think they'll give him? They'll not give him, right? So the intent does not matter. Maybe he's genuine. Maybe really is hungry. Maybe he's really crying. No. Pay the price, get the food. Pay $10, get $10 product. Pay $100, get $100 product. So that's basically it's like a transactional. So it's more external. The example given is like the uncle. Uncle, uncle comes once in a year to the house. The uncle doesn't know that the child has like tooth problem, and the uncle brings a lot of chocolate for him. No problem. Create more problem, right? So, but the father may not give him sometimes. That's another like less intelligence. So the child is thinking, oh, uncle gives nice chocolates, but the father doesn't give chocolate. So the chocolate is going to ruin your life, right? So the uncle doesn't know that much, right? So another important point here, which is very, very important, Krishna gives what we need. So, and the demigods give what we want. Now, what's better?
What we
What?
need.
And he is supremely intelligent. He's not an ordinary jiva, right? Like the uncle and the child, I think the will fit in here. Example, right? So the father knows what's the good for the child, but the uncle doesn't know because he is coming after 1 year and saying, "Oh, I got a lot of chocolates for you because you always ask for chocolates. Oh, I got a PlayStation for you because you're always asking for a PlayStation." And maybe the PlayStation will ruin him, right? He's already addicted to phone, he's already addicted to gadgets, and another like disaster machine, right? So Krishna gives what we need, and the demigods may give. If we pay the price, if we pay the price of worshipping them, we'll get those gadgets, we'll get those material things, whether it's small gadgets, children play with small gadgets, and adults play with larger gadgets. Hmm. Um, sorry, I got a call.
Okay.
So, is this helpful?
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Yes,
Uh,
please, Mataji.
so, yes, I understood what we are talking about, but I want to understand, like, if somebody says that if I am worshipping demigod, is it still bhakti or it is not bhakti? Like, that's what I have seen since my childhood in my home. Like, my parents do puja religiously, getting up morning, take shower, do puja, do all their whatever religious routine they have to follow, read books and everything, but it is still for some demigod. So is it still bhakti, or what do we call that?
Very, very good question. What do you now, after this whole discussion, what do you think?
After all this thing, of course, I think, I don't know. I mean, I'm confused now. I understand the difference now very clearly, that it is all materialistic. This is for the destination is different for both kind of things that we are doing, or what my parents have taught me all this throughout all these years. But then I'm really questioning that what they are doing is, what was I doing then all that time, and what if I'm doing bhakti now, what have I been doing through, like, so many years, and what are my parents have been doing all this time? Is it still called bhakti, or it is just uh, satisfaction of material wants? What do we term it as?
Very good question. And we discussed in the last call. You read this highlighted section.
Devotional service to the Supreme Lord and the worship of a demigod cannot be on the same platform, because worship of a demigod is material and Devotional service to the Supreme Lord is completely spiritual.
So basically, bhakti, the word bhakti is Prabhupada translates as devotional service.
Service.
So the word bhakti is used. Prabhupada is not saying devotional service to the Supreme Lord and devotional service of a demigod. You see, interesting. Very, very point to note here. Devotional service is bhakti. The word bhakti itself, of course, one can say anything. Oh, I am doing bhakti of my manager. But it's like service or worship. Oh, I am doing bhakti of Tata Birla. No, that's not bhakti. The word bhakti means devotional service. And to be more and to say more precisely, ahetuki apratihata bhakti, selfless, unmotivated devotional service is topmost. Now, if someone takes this whole conversation out of context, they may draw wrong conclusions and they may say, we hate demigods, we are saying all bad things, oh, it's all material, it's nonsense, and this, and less intelligent, like. But it's devotees care for everyone. And how can they say wrong to any other devotee? Demigods are also devotees. So, if someone is worshipping demigods and they want to ask something, so Prabhupada says, what should we ask for? When you go to an billionaire and you say, give me 2 rupees, please. Can I get 2 rupees? I really need 2 rupees. Or $2. Is this very intelligent? What would you ask? If you need help and you approach a multi-billionaire or very like Tata Birla or, Warren Buffett, he says, okay, I'll help you. What shall we ask them? $2, $5, $20?
Of course not.
Blank check.
Huh?
Blank check.
Blank
Sign a
check?
blank check.
Okay, you want to hear a story?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
There was a great king once upon a time. Very charitable, noble. And he said, anyone who comes to me, I'll give him. Whatever. You can ask for one wish. So few people came. And someone asked, hey, king, I need some land. Okay, you get this half-acre land for you. I need some cows. Okay, give him cows. Someone said, well, I need some clothes. Okay, give him nice clothes. Someone said, can I get some gold? Okay, give him some gold. Someone said, oh, can I get a nice sofa? Okay, give him some sofa. One lady came and said, king, I didn't get anything. I said, okay, what do you want? King, I want to be your mother. Oh, king, I want to be your mother. Now she asked for the best thing. Because being a mother, you get the nice palace. Like the king's mother will not sleep in a jhopadi, right? You get nice jewelry. You get nice servants, nice food, nice everything. Correct? Nice care, physical, everything is taken care. And you develop a relationship with Krishna or the king. So here Krishna is the story is Krishna is that king. Of course, we should not even ask Krishna like small things. Like one time, there's another story in Braj Bhasha. One time a devotee, asked Krishna, old lady, they pick logs of wood on their head, right? Like sticks, they go to the forest, break the wood. And Krishna was playing there. And Krishna ko bola, oh, Kana, ये मेरे सर पे रख दो. हाँ? And Krishna says that तुम्हारे बाप का नौकर थोड़ी हूं मैं. I'm not the servant of your father that I'll do this for you. In North India, they say typically like in like a slang that I am not the servant of your father. Like तुम्हारे बाप का नौकर नहीं हूं जो ये मैं काम करूं तुम्हारे लिए. Hmm? So somehow the poor old lady somehow keeps her the log of wood on her head, and then gets to her house, and this naughty Krishna boy is running here, running there, and then he reaches before her to her home, and then she sees, right, this guy is here. Like earlier, he was in the forest, and then they have a conversation. And this lady says, like, what's going on? And then Krishna says, hey, what's going on? Do you need some help? So earlier, like Krishna said heavy words that I'm not the servant of your father, and now he's asking, hey, do you need some help? And this lady said, well, you gave me left and right when I asked you for help. Now why are you here asking me to to help you, or asking me if I need help? Krishna says, well, I can help you to get the load down, right? Then the lady said, well, why you want to help me now? And Krishna says a beautiful thing. मैं अपने भक्तों के सर से भार चढ़ाता नहीं, उतारता हूं. That I don't put load on my devotee's head, but rather I take that off. Right?
Wow.
So gold, silver, these are like, as per Bhagavatam, if we are drowning in the material world and we have a golden crown, guess what happens? We drown faster. Whether it's a gold crown or silver crown, doesn't matter. We drown faster. So Krishna, in short, gives the best. And back to Mataji's question, Bhakti, the word is used for Krishna. And if we have to ask something, we can ask the demigod. Well, I don't know what's best for me, but you're very intelligent and you're a great devotee too. Why don't you give me what's best you have? So if we go to like, if we get a chance and then some, let's say, multi-billionaire is giving something, I don't know what to ask. Why don't you give me what best you have? The best I have, that I give to my children. That means you want me to be like treat you like a child? Then I'll really give you what I'm giving them. Then they'll give the best thing. Then Lord Shiva gave Prachetas the best thing, as we were discussing, Ramya Prabhu was sharing, right? And that is what? Real mercy. Real mercy of demigods is not material benefit, but spiritual, but very few people approach them for that. So, if one wants to worship, like Ganesha is giving the blessing, I will remove the obstacles from your spiritual journey. Lord Shiva is, what is the best thing he is giving? He's giving, like, they are their acharyas, they are their great devotees. The best thing is attachment to the lotus feet of Krishna. They can give that because they are great devotees. So if we go to any demigod, or we happen to go to, or due to family or other situations or whatnot, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to some Shiva temples and whatnot. So he always asks, right, that give me the attachment to the lotus feet of Krishna. That's something to ask for. An intelligent person does that. Does that help, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Sorry, we covered the whole hour in this verse.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So nicely explained, Prabhuji.
I know.
Prabhuji, now I'm wondering how the Americans, when they were listening to Prabhupada's lectures, how they were attracted and finally they became devotees so quickly, so fast. So much explanation. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yes.
So much explanation. And it is rightly said, no, this chapter, knowledge of the absolute.
You, Mataji, for your association. All of you
No,
are
no, I am
so
learning, Prabhuji. It's a reminder I'm telling you. I never knew that this chapter is so important. So much knowledge in this chapter. I always skip chapter 7, but now I realize how important it is, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. My question, I am got my answers now. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
you. Thank you so much. Yes, Shilpa Mataji had a comment. She raised the hand.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam. Yeah, I was trying to answer earlier the
Oh, yes,
question.
please.
That
Sorry.
no, Prabhuji, you already answered with more good examples, and I just want to add one more. Now the next question is like, yeah, you categorized it as less intelligent and intelligent, right? To add more, maybe karmis and jnanis would go to demigods, and bhaktas, which are devotees, would go to Krishna. And the next question on top of it would be, now what should devotees do when other demigod worshippers call for, in our regular life, there would be people who are doing all the pujas and they would invite us, right? Knowing that devotees are. So, and you mentioned the answer also in one of the previous classes, and many acharyas also suggest, which helped me a lot. We know that Krishna is the root. We water him. We water the root. That way, everybody would be satisfied. So, if they are doing the puja, we are being called. We go and worship, but we see the root in the puja, right? So if they're doing Rudrabhishekam Shiva, we know that Shiva worships Lord Ram. So we automatically it helps us to find Ram in the Shiva puja, though we are called. So that helped me a lot. I just wanted to share, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Very nice examples. Yes. Yeah, one has to be intelligent in doing it so, because ultimately it takes a lot of maturity and spiritual strength to develop that. It's not that easy because it's hard, right? It's not that easy, but yeah, that's the mood, that's the process. So if it's not that often, so if it's something very often, then one should like figure out some alternatives and see we are a preaching mission, so sometimes we may have to attend these programs and stuff like that. But at the same time, we have to see that our time is limited. So sometimes we can show our face, right? Like in India, they say Hajri laga ke," right? Like there are some weddings in India, like we have to go and show our face. So so sometimes, and while we are there, there's so many verses. As you said, we can remember internally the Supreme Lord, how great of a devotee Lord Shiva is, how great of a devotee Ganesha is, right? Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya, Sadhana, Shakti, like all these verses from Brahma Samhita, how if Ganesh Puja is going, like this whole New Year thing, this Happy New Year, everyone is wishing. It's not actually the New Year. It's what is new about the New Year. Same eating, sleeping, mating, defending, same people are doing intoxication, driving rash on the road. What is new? But right, there's nothing so new. And this, anyways, from the Vedic perspective, this is not the new year, anyways. But if someone wishes, we'll not give him a whole philosophy class. We'll say, okay, Happy New Year. May this bring us more close to Krishna. May you have good health, which we pray any days, every day anyways, right? So for a devotee, every day is New Year. For a devotee, every day is a festival. But yeah, we may use certain like Ganesh Puja. Okay, it's a chance to talk about, you know, the connection between Ganesha and Krishna. With Shivaratri, we can talk about some connection. People are doing Lakshmi Puja, Saraswati Puja, all these things other people might be doing. We can try to link and take it as an opportunity to bring others closer to Krishna, if possible. But if we think, oh, that's rather than helping others to get closer to Krishna, I am getting weaker and getting closer to their mental attitude, their material style, then it's not healthy. Then we have to figure some other plan, right? It's like, you know, like tug of war or like kabaddi match. Kabaddi. The one side is the you can say the general masses, and the other side is a devotee, like kabaddi, you know. So we have to touch someone, like all of you were playing that game, interesting, the other day. You have to touch someone before and bring them on our side. But touch and then come back. But if we touch and then don't come back, then game lost, right? So we have to get back to the court, our side. Otherwise, we'll be caught. So we have to see. Oh, one time, devotees say, "Hey, Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, we will go to the bar and distribute books there in a nightclub or bar or something like that." Prabhupada said, "Okay, it's a good idea, but make sure you come back too."
I'm not drunk.
Come back in the same condition you're going. Right? So, because Maya is strong, Devi Esha Gunamayi, Mama Duratteya. So we have to see what is my spiritual strength. If I am in the company of 10 Mayavadis and they are saying all this, you know, like left and right nonsense about Krishna, and I may not be strong. I may start thinking, well, I think they're right, right? So we have to see so better to err on the side of caution. That's what devotees say. Thank you.
Prabhuji,
Yes, Mataji.
difference between Golok Vrindavan and Krishna Lok. What is this question?
Yes. So basically, you can say, I mean, Krishna, Golok Vrindavan, they both are spiritual worlds. See, spiritual world is like above material world. There is Ayodhya. There is, you know, like Kaliki, let's say, Narshingaloka and multiple planets. Shivaloka doesn't come in the Vaikuntha planets. Shivaloka is a little separate, you can say. But these are all Vaikuntha planets, and then there are layers. There is the, you know, first where Lord Vishnu is there, more awe and reverence relationship, right? Then Lord Ram, Ayodhya planets, right? First, they're like all the spiritual worlds, the general spiritual world, you can say, like Matsya Avatar, Kurma Avatar, this Avatar, all these planets, Narshingalok. Then these specific ones, Ayodhya, then you know, Dwarka, Mathura, all these. Then ultimately is the finally Goloka Vrindavan, topmost. Where this Vrindavana Ramyasthana Divya Chintamani Dhama, right? The famous that bhajan. It's the topmost. Tara Madhya Hima Pitha Ashtadale, right? In that spiritual world, there is in that eight petal lotus, where on the golden throne the Radha Krishna are there. So it can be used interchangeably. If we are referring to Krishna Loka, it's Goloka Vrindavan. Sometimes it could be used back home, back to Godhead. So we are referring to Krishna Loka or our real home, or Goloka Vrindavan.
Same or different?
It can be used interchangeably, but mentally we have to be clear. Like, are we referring to, like, Krishna Loka could also refer to Dwarka, right? Because he is present in Dwarka also, right? But our Gaudiya Vaishnavism, what we are, who we are trying to follow, Gaudiya Vaishnavism specifically talks, what Lord Chaitanya says, what's the Bhagavatam, that famous verse? Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesh Tanayas Tadham Vrindavanam Ramya Kachitupasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Va Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamalam Premah Pumartho Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatradara Napara Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesh Tanayas. सो हम कृष्णा की पूजा करते हैं, लेकिन कृष्णा में भी लाइक स्पेसिफिक, व्हाट टू स्पीक ऑफ देवता देवी, हम कृष्णा गौड़ीय वैष्णव कृष्णा में भी स्पेसिफिक आराध्यो भगवान व्रजेश तनयस, द चाइल्ड ऑफ व्रजा or the darling of Raja. We are referring to that Krishna who is the jewel of Vrindavan. So you see how much emphasis we are giving to Vrindavan and Dwarka. Same?
Vrindavan?
Yeah, Vrindavan. Absolutely. I mean, see, Krishna did a lot of pastimes in Dwarka also, right? Dwarka is also Dham. Yes, devotees go. But our Gaudiya Vaishnavism is all about the sweetness of, because Vrindavan Parityajya ekam padam. Vrindavan Parityajya ekam padam na gachet. Krishna doesn't take a step out of Vrindavan. So in Vrindavan, it's the best of all rasas in their supreme perfection or topmost stage. Whether Sakhya ras, Vatsalya ras, Madhurya ras, all the rasas in their topmost state is in Vrindavan. Dwarka is more awe and reverence, right? It's also Krishna is there. So I hope that, so therefore, generally we say Goloka Vrindavan. That's ours. Because Krishna Loka could be Dwarka also, right? Could be Mathura also. But here we are referring to Goloka Vrindavan, which is also like, it's like a, set, like in sets and subset, Venn diagrams, you know that? So it's basically a specific, like a subset of the subset of the subset of the subset, like that in turn, like imagine concentric circles. You're narrowing down to the topmost, that the first topmost Goloka Vrindavan. Very, very, it's covered with a lot of different circles. That's Goloka Vrindavan, the topmost. Devotees want nothing but the topmost. Hare Krishna. I guess we'll pause here. It's getting late. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samved Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Vanshakal Pratarupyascha Kripa Sindhubhyev cha, Patana Pavnibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Ji.
Have a
Thank
good day.